Now, millions of Israelis and Jews from around the world have today marked Holocaust Remembrance Day 80 years on, under the shadow of this war, almost 7 months since the Hamas terror assault in southern Israel. Earlier, I spoke to Jonathan Dekel-Chen, whose son Sagi is being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza after he was abducted from his home in Kibbutz near Oz on the 7th of October. And Jonathan's parents were Holocaust survivors. Unimaginable. I asked him about the personal significance of this time for him and his family.
As you noted, both of my parents were Holocaust survivors. One from Poland, and he experienced the horrors of the Holocaust for 6 very long years. My mother was a refugee from Nazi Germany, was able to exit Europe on one of the last boats in 1940. Both of them wound up in the United States. As that all makes my son, Sagi, who is a hostage in Gaza, the grandson of actually 3 Holocaust survivors. His grandfather on the other side, on his mom's side, was also a Holocaust survivor who spent a number of years under Nazi occupation in Transnistria. The existence of anti-Semitism never surprises me. I mean, it's called the world's oldest hatred. There's a reason that it's called that. Even as a child in the United States, I experienced anti-Semitism myself. So that in and of itself is not surprising. My challenge this year on Holocaust Remembrance Day here in Israel is actually the political mobilization here in Israel of comparisons of the Holocaust to what happened on October 7th. And I believe that that's not just a distortion of history. I believe that that is, in a way, cheapening the memory of the Holocaust and its victims, among them my parents and their families. These are 2 very, very different events, the Holocaust and what happened on October 7th in the south of Israel. I mean, certainly it is true. My kibbutz near Oz, it looks as if it is the remnant of a war, which it is. But from there, the comparisons stop beyond the actual killing on that day, for the very simple reason, an obvious reason, that between 1938 and 1939 and 1945, there was no state of Israel. There was no IDF. There was no superpower that has our backs as Israelis, the superpower, of course, being the United States. So those comparisons, whether consciously or otherwise, when made by politicians in Israel and perhaps others, are what they in effect do is cloud the responsibility of our government in Israel and our army, unfortunately, for the catastrophe of October 7th. I mean, there's no better reason for the state of Israel to exist other than to protect the lives of Jews, certainly within its own borders. And October 7th was a huge failure of that promise to protect our own citizens.